Hi guys, I am here with a little one that you guys haven't seen in a while. This is Aria. She is the Melina sculpt by Andrea Arcello. And for those of you guys who don't know the backstory, she's actually portrait sculpt of my daughter Audrey when she was a baby. She and Isla and Olivia, the Emery May sculpt, I have two Emery Mays, are actually portraits of Audrey when she's awake and then asleep, as you see here with Melina. So I'm going to change Melina out of this super adorable folk dress. I'm kind of reluctant to take it off her because she looks angelic in it. But I love my babies to wear. This dress really makes her feel like a doll to me versus like a real baby because like when my Audrey was little, she never wore dresses like this when she was a newborn or a really young infant. She just didn't. So um, anyway, so I want to actually change her into one of the outfits I got from the Children Salon. This is by Mini Kampf, Ido Mini Kampf, and it's a size 0 to 1. And I think this will fit her really well. It's interesting because the whole European sizing thing is like really hard for me to figure out. So so Aria can wear she the most comfortable fit for her is really like 0 to 3 months. But she can fit into some newborn. It just kind of depends on the outfit. But I really don't squeeze her into newborn size things. I really predominantly use 0 to 3. And I was confused because I think 0 to 1 is supposed to be, or 1 month is supposed to be a little closer to newborn, or maybe it's somewhere in between. But I'm looking at this and I think it will fit her. So we're going to try it. And I wanted to actually chat today. The topic for that I wanted to talk about a little bit is about portrait babies. What do you guys think about when you're looking to purchase a baby and you learn about the inspiration behind that baby being a portrait sculpt of an actual real baby out there? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And does that make the baby more appealing, less appealing? Does it not matter at all? What are your thoughts? And if it is a portrait of a real baby and you see a photo of the real baby, and I guess a perfect example of this would actually be the Reborns because those are literally a 3D scan of a real baby kind of then made into a vinyl kit for us to reborn. But a lot of times on Bountiful Baby you'll see the photo of the actual real baby, then you'll see the prototype artist's version of that baby, and usually and most of the ones that I've seen, they try to stay pretty close to the baby that the portrait sculpt is after, at least for the prototype. And so yeah, I guess I'm curious because does it make you kind of view the baby like kind of in that lens, like that it's supposed to look like the original baby? Like, does it feel weird to own a doll that is a portrait after someone else's child or someone else's baby? Do you prefer the sculpt to just be kind of the artist's own inspiration and to not know about any of the history behind it? So I'm super curious to kind of hear you guys' thoughts because since so as you guys know, I have collected for quite a number of years. I had Andrea make these. I contacted Andrea about doing portrait sculpt of Audrey when she was a baby, back when Audrey was like, gosh, this is really tricky, guys. Dressing silicone. I may not be able to be coordinated enough to talk, especially this one has like little buttons and stuff. I'll just take my time and chat and go slowly. So I'd contacted Andrea when Audrey was only like 3 months old, and and then it took a while for her to kind of finally come to fruition, but she became, in addition, she became available. I think it was literally about 3 years later. I think she came out in 2015. I think spring of 2015. So and actually Emery May was released first, and then and then Melina. So, oh my gosh, I love this baby so much. By the way, if you guys are watching this not too late after the fact, there happened to be two Melinas for sale on eBay, and then another Melina collector actually contacted me to ask if I would like to purchase her Melina, and her Melina is really beautiful. But you know, I told her that, you know, unfortunately right now I just don't have the funds to do that. I really need to save. I mean, I guess I technically could dip into savings again, but I just I just don't think, you know, that's something I really would be financially prudent to do. I've already dipped into savings a few times this year, so I'm really trying to kind of slow down on the buying and try to save again and try to replenish replenish my savings a little bit. And then the other thing too is I am saving for Eleanor still. She's on layaway. Plus, I have another silicone baby, which is a surprise for now, but a silicone baby that I am hoping to bring home. So in the works. So anyway, so that is. So yeah, but I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on, anyway, so if you guys are watching this video and you love, you've like fallen in love with Melina, the Melina sculpt, this is my Aria, you know, that would be definitely something to, yeah, to look into. Oh gosh, this is going to be a little tricky. Yeah, especially like when you have footed sleeper, just want to be super, super careful. So yeah, I would love your thoughts on portrait babies, and I'll give you kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, obviously for me, you know, it's different when the portrait baby is, you know, of your own child and, you know, or someone that you know. For me, it definitely makes it 10 times more special. Absolutely. But like, you know, I think that if I were to, you know, purchase a baby and I knew this was a portrait sculpt of someone else's child, it doesn't really make any difference to me, honestly. If I like the sculpt, I think it's cute, it really doesn't matter to me at all. Like, so that's my own view. It is kind of fun I actually, you know, if I had to pick, I think it's actually fun. I think it is kind of fun for me when the baby is a portrait after someone else's baby, and I would just kind of, but I wouldn't necessarily want to specifically say, oh, I want this to look like the actual baby. I don't know if that's like, you know, I don't know if that's unusual or weird or not, but I would just say, yeah, I like the sculpt, and I would kind of view it as I would any other reborn. Okay, here's the tricky part. I have to do the back. So, any other vinyl kit sculpt. Sorry guys, I'm a little disjointed here in my conversation. So yeah, so I guess for me it wouldn't matter at all. One thing that was really fun at the doll show when I took the air dry paint class, Cheyenne. Okay, so there's a little girl named Cheyenne, and you guys might be going, oh, how funny! There's a Cheyenne sculpt. So Cheyenne is actually a portrait sculpt. Elena Peterson was in the air dry paint class with me. I didn't really get to talk or get to know her. She was actually quite quiet, but very nice lady. And her daughter Cheyenne is actually the inspiration behind the Cheyenne sculpt. It's actually a portrait sculpt of Cheyenne when she was a baby, and she got to. And so I got to meet the real Cheyenne, and then it was fun too because at the doll show. My friend Jenny, who I met there at the show, who's also a big Andrea Arcello collector like myself, she was the one who got the prototype Eleanor, and she also has Maggie, she has Emery May, and so and it was actually really sweet because she basically said, she said, oh, I didn't realize that she was a portrait sculptor after your daughter, and I guess she had been kind of wanting to give her a different name, but hadn't yet. And she said, well, I'm going to name her Audrey because that's like your daughter, and it's after her, and she's the inspiration behind the sculpt. So she said, that's perfect. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet. And so So just like, you know, when you paint like, so anyway, I think that's cool. Like I love portrait babies. I think they're special. You know, there's another Lay Down Doll fan. Those of you guys who know the Zoe by Claire Taylor. She is a portrait baby after you know, this very sweet collector. Her I think it's her granddaughter, if I'm not mistaken. So Zoe was created as a portrait of her granddaughter, and I think Claire Taylor has, like with Dwayne, for example. Dwayne is definitely a portrait sculpt. She talks about it on her website. So yeah, I think it's cool. Like for me, it definitely you know, I like it personally, but you know, some people may not. They may want to feel like their baby is unique and not modeled after like a real baby, like running around out there, or you know, or in my case, a 5-year-old who who's obviously doesn't look like this anymore. Um, but anyway, yeah. And I know Audrey like gets a total kick out of it. Like she looks at you know, she looks at her own baby pictures, and then it's funny because she, like, for her, Emery May is Zara. Like Emery May equals Zara, like, you know, because she was so used to watching Melissa's channel with Zara. So when she would see her own baby pictures as a baby, she would basically say, hey, that looks like Zara. I look like Zara. So now it's like, no, sweetie, Zara looks like you. You know, the dolls look like you. They're basically sculpted after your baby photos. And so, but anyway, I thought that was really cute. So yeah, and I would love to get, I think I've talked about this a few times. At some point, I really want to get a portrait baby done of my son Ethan in silicone. So, you know, that might be a future project that, you know, I work with Andrea or another artist on. You know, so anyway, that would definitely be something that I would love to do. But all right, guys. Well, I think that's all I had to say about the topic. Isn't Aria look adorable in this? And I'm gonna just pick her up here. I have to support her head, of course, just like a real baby. Oh my gosh, she's so sweet. Oh, yeah. If I hadn't seriously like overspent on so many dolls, I would be very tempted by one of the Melinas on eBay, or actually the collector who contacted me. I really love her Melina the most. So man, I don't know. Maybe if like next year or something it's still available, maybe I'll get a duplicate. But I just love this baby. This is the baby. This sculpt looks the most like my daughter. Really does. Just in terms of like how she looks, and even when she sleeps today and I look at her, like she still has that like same expression. It's so hard to describe, but but yeah, it really just brings back memories of when I held her when she was asleep. And yeah, it just really looks just like her. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel, and hope you all have a great day and enjoy your babies. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.